you've got Starfield. You have a release date that's in. I'm going to call it pencil on the calendar. You've penciled it right now. I don't think no game release dates get written in ink anymore until like they've.
Yeah, we wrote it pretty hard in that trailer. So.
Well, I want to ask you about that in a minute, but
that felt like some ink. But yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second.
Sure.
But
yeah, we wrote it pretty hard in that trailer. So.
Well, I want to ask you about that in a minute, but
that felt like some ink.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Hello, and how's it going, everyone? It's Skullzi here with the latest gaming news, rumors, and speculation. I just woke up to some insane news, so forgive me if I don't sound as constructed and put together as I normally do. That makes me sound like an android. But my point is, I woke up to some crazy news. I haven't even had my skoomie yet. Starfield is officially delayed, including Redfall. But I'll say this again, Starfield is 100% confirmed to be delayed not only until 2023, but the first half of 2023. That means not Q1 2023, but somewhere between Q1 and Q2 of 2023. So anytime until June, basically. Starfield just got an up to a 6-month delay dropped on us, which is super interesting given how confident Bethesda has been about this game's release date. So let's not waste any more time. I'm going to break this all down today, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this delay and why I actually think this delay happened in the first place. First of all, this was announced before I even woke up this morning at 8 a.m. on the day that I'm uploading this video, May 12th, 2022. Bethesda should really wait to drop huge news like this until at least noon, so I can at least wake up and have my coffee first, Todd. But nonetheless, this is what the statement states. It says, we've made the decision to delay the launches of Redfall and Starfield to the first half of 2023. The teams at Arcane Austin, working on Redfall, and Bethesda Game Studios, working on Starfield, have incredible ambitions for their games, and we want to ensure that you receive the best, most polished versions of them. We want to thank everyone for their excitement for Redfall and Starfield. That energy is a huge part of what inspires us all every day and drives our own excitement for what we are creating. We can't wait to share our first deep dive into the gameplay for both Redfall and Starfield soon. So, a couple of things to take away from this. First off, before we get into the delay aspect, it seems like we still might see some Redfall and Starfield gameplay soon. I don't think they would drop soon in this statement so close to the Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Bethesda Showcase if they weren't going to show Starfield there. And seeing how they talk about gameplay specifically, I think this kind of low-key confirms that we will still see some Starfield gameplay this summer. But let's get to this delay, dude. Like, what? This is crazy. First of all, I will say, a delayed game is generally a better game. I'm not talking crap about Bethesda delaying this game at all. It's a good thing they're delaying the game because Starfield seems like it's a very ambitious project, a pretty big game, much larger than the huge games that Bethesda Game Studios have worked on in the past. So with that in mind, it definitely probably needs some more polishing, some more QA bug testing, and etc. And my guess is this delay happened for one of two reasons. Either the first reason being that recent ex-Bethesda developer leak over on Reset Era, who apparently is confirmed to indeed have had some connection to Bethesda in the past as per the Reset Era mods, who have been wrong in the past, but also Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier claims that he did get verification from this person confirming they did have some connection to Bethesda at some point, but nonetheless this person just dropped a bunch of hate regarding Starfield over on Reset Era. The threads have been deleted now because they nuked their existence so they wouldn't be sued for breaking NDA, but they said the flight mechanics sucked, the shooting was boring, and a bunch of content in the game would probably be cut. But then they also said that it seemed like Bethesda was confident with the release date, so even the leaker themselves didn't see this entire situation coming. So that leak very well could have had something to do with this delay, or what I think is the most likely scenario is that the QA team decided they did indeed need a lot more time to polish and bug test this game. I mean, it's a good thing that Bethesda is taking bug testing seriously, right? Or at least a lot more seriously than they have in the past regarding how Fallout 4 released with some game-breaking bugs, Fallout 76 did, Skyrim did. It seems like Bethesda Game Studios wants to avoid that this time around, and here comes Jason Schreier again, kind of collaborating that. According to Jason Schreier, who apparently knew this the entire time but didn't want to talk about it, said that last spring before E3, I spoke to some folks on Starfield who were extremely worried about committing to the November 11th, 2022 release date based on the current progress of the game they've made so far. It was kind of going to be referred to as the next Cyberpunk. Jason then finishes up by saying good for Bethesda to delay the game even after they announced the release date, which, I mean, does show some bravery, right? It does show that Bethesda is willing to take one on the knee, if you will, take an arrow to the knee, because they definitely already said the release date. They put that out there, but now they're taking that back. Also, another thing that comes to mind is recently it has been confirmed that Bethesda was showing stuff to Xbox and the rest of the Bethesda team behind closed doors leading up until what they will showcase during the summer showcases, during that Xbox and Bethesda event, and perhaps even Summer Games Fest. Perhaps what I think is when they were showing this gameplay, when they were showing the Starfield and Redfall gameplay behind doors, it did indicate that the game did have some bugs in it right now. So they show this to Xbox, they talked to Xbox, they decided it would be fine to delay the game for up to 6 months, if not more, and in this way they can still show us the Starfield gameplay this summer, while at the same time still being confident that they can show the bugs at the same time, because if they show gameplay and it's super buggy but the game is supposed to release this November, that'll look bad, but they can still show gameplay but say that all these bugs should be fixed because they delayed the game. So this is kind of brilliant because we can still see the gameplay even though it's buggy, but not have to worry about the game actually being released in this state because it was definitely delayed now, so the bugs will most likely be fixed. What makes this even more interesting is, in a recent IGN interview, Ryan McCaffrey of IGN even gave Todd Howard an out. He said that, oh, the release date was penciled in. Release dates aren't usually like 100% set until months before release, basically, kind of. But Todd Howard doubled down and said, no, it felt like some ink. We're confident in that release date, and that's why it's in the trailer. Only, oops, oof, he accidentally the stairs, he accidentally the sidewalk, he accidentally misspoke a little too early because this is another one of those sweet old Todd Howard little lies that we know and love. But I don't think it's fair to consider it a lie. I see some people dropping that meme already. I think we should commend Todd and the Bethesda Game Studios for being brave enough to delay this game after they already announced the release date. They knew they were going to get some slack when they announced the delay, but it's better for the quality of the game. And by delaying the game, even after they announce the release date, even after they know that it's going to hit them a little bit in terms of that PR, they still are focusing on quality over forcing the game out, which in a way shows us that Bethesda has the needs and the wants of the community in mind first over their own ego, over their own reputation to some degree. So this is a good thing. As disappointed as I am with this entire situation, this is a good thing, but no longer can we say that 2022 is the year of Starfield, unfortunately. This sucks, man. It was great knowing an official concrete release date of this game that Bethesda was supposedly confident in. But now we're back to the dark ages. Now we're back to just floating around in the dark, empty void of space with no light from any starfields around us to shine upon us with hype, because we don't even know when this game is going to be released again. Once again, we are back to not having an official release date for Starfield. We just know it's going to come out at some point during the first half of 2023. And that sucks. That definitely hits me in my hype holes in all the wrong directions. I don't like it when things go into my hype holes that way. I don't like this, but we still have to keep in mind this is good for the community, this is good for the quality of the game, and in this way, when we finally do get Starfield in our hands next year, it's gonna be great. Or at least we hope so, right? Which brings me to my next point. If Starfield does launch next year and it has problems like we would expect from old Bethesda Game Studios games, if it has those old Bethesda game-breaking bugs and issues, then it's gonna only do that much more damage to Bethesda. People will be saying, you delayed the game for up to a half a year and you still launched a buggy mess? What is going on, Todd? So Bethesda has to double down now on that QA. They have to polish Starfield up. The game has to launch with very small amount of bugs, or the PR disaster is just gonna blow up in their face face next year. Even more so than it could have if they launched the game this year, potentially. But I don't want to get into that kind of territory. I still want to stand on the ground that a delayed game is usually a better game. And this was a pro-gaming community and consumer decision made by Bethesda, despite the fact that they know they might take some negative publicity for delaying the game after already confirming the release date and stating that they were very confident about that November release date. So here we are now, everyone, back to where we used to be, wondering when this game is actually going to finally come out. But hey, we have a release date window now, I guess. It's not an official release date, but it's a release date window. For the longest time before Todd and friends told us of the November release date, we didn't even have that. We didn't even have an official window. We do now. But who's to say they don't delay it again? Maybe they're gonna delay it again until November of 2023. Todd did state he loves November 11th release dates. He says they look good, they sound good on paper, so I mean, who knows? I like to say I don't think they'll delay it another time, but at this point we have to expect the unexpected, because I don't think anyone was expecting this delay in the first place this morning. I definitely wasn't, but I wanted to end the video again where we began the video, back on the official Bethesda delay statement, by stating that they still say we will see Redfall and Starfield gameplay soon. I don't think that they're gonna say soon, meaning sometime next year or sometime like late in this year. Bethesda already knows the expectations were set to see Starfield at E3 this summer, so if they still say we're gonna see Starfield gameplay soon, even after the delay, they would have to assume people are gonna think soon means this summer still. So I'm gonna end the video by saying I still believe this is Bethesda telling us in a, I guess, low-key confirmed way that we will see Starfield gameplay and Redfall gameplay this summer. But either way, that's where I'm going to end the video. Super disappointing, I know, but we have to remember this is good for the game, and this is Bethesda showing us they are having our best interests as the community, as the gamers in mind here. As always, let me know what you think about this delay down in the comments below. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. You don't have to give the video a thumbs down if you don't enjoy the news. Just if you enjoy the content, give the video a thumbs up. And as always, subscribe if you want to stay in the know when it comes to latest news. And finally, if you want to get a permanent feature video shout out at the end of every single one of my future videos and help me continue to bring you content like this, consider supporting the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more, including the Skullzi Discord server and the Skullzi merchandise site, are down in the description below. And as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when the hype is assuming less control.
It just works.